Ilja Dragunov did not get the job done at the Great American Bash last night. Is he ever going to be NXT champion? Let's take a look, see what the cards have to say. This is Wrestling Tea Tarot, the channel where we look behind the kayfabe, beyond the booking, try to find some truth in the world of professional wrestling. Welcome back. I am Jude. My partner Calypso Vibes is away from the desk today, but last night was my first in-person NXT show. And let me tell you, the crowd there was electric. The matches were fantastic and exciting. Um, I've been to 2 WrestleManias. I've been to a handful of Raws. I've been to AEW Dynamite. This was a whole lot of fun. And the main event, people are already talking about it as a contender for Match of the Year. I don't know if it's going to get past, let's say, Ospreay and Omega in that regard. But it was a slobber knocker, right? So I walked away from there. I was already an Ilja Dragunov fan. Not to take anything away from Carmelo, he is an absolute star, and I'll talk a little bit more about it. But, ever since Dragunov's feud with Walter, who of course is now Gunther, I mean, this guy just throws hands, he fights, he shows this level of grittiness and toughness that, it's a throwback, right? It's a throwback to a different era of wrestling that we don't see as much anymore. Carmelo is much more of a modern guy, right? Very athletic, very agile, does a lot of aerial stuff. But his work also, like, you can't find fault with it. But I came away from there really wanting to take a look at Dragunov because I thought Dragunov was going to win last night. Calypso would have disagreed with me, and if she were here, I think she'd tell you so. But I thought that the time was now, and boy, let me tell you, I don't know if you can see it on the broadcast. I haven't watched it back yet, but that crowd was so behind Carmelo Hayes that, I don't know, they would have torn the place down if Dragunov had one. There were chances for Dragunov as well. And again, because the match was just so hard-hitting, so exciting, the people were really into it. But they were there for Melo. So before we even get started with the Oracle cards, Dragunov is a Libra. His birthday is in October. And you see here, Libra's all about beauty and emotions, right? Look for balance. You have an eagle's eye for beauty. However, you're ruled by emotions and can get stuck with this when it comes to think practically. Carmelo, on the other hand, is a Leo, high ambition and assertion. Always look for the best of life, strong willpower that fills you with enthusiasm. And I didn't bring the cards out here, but I'll talk about their life paths also very briefly. Ilja is a life path 6. There are some WWE names associated with the life path 6, very successful. Vince McMahon's one of them. Edge is a life path 6. But there's not really a whole lot of 6 that made it huge. And the 6 is called the nurturer, right? So I think you put the Libra together with the nurturer. I think you kind of get a struggling artist type almost. Whereas Carmelo, not only is he a Leo, which is, ruled by the sun, it's the lion, it's very bold, it's very strong, very powerful. He's also a life path 5, which you've probably heard me talk before. Life path 5s in wrestling are superstars. Triple H is both a Leo and a life path 5. Shawn Michaels is a life path 5. He's actually on the cusp with Leo, even though he is a Cancer. Ric Flair's a 5. Stone Cold's a 5. Just big stars who have that free spirit, right, with the 5s, which makes them very, very creative. It gives them a certain star power. But you add in this boldness of the Leo, the lion, boy, that's tough to beat. So I've even just been reading today that higher ups in WWE are really, really high on Carmelo and Trick Williams. That match that Carmelo and Ilja Dragunov put on last night was such a banger. I can't imagine anyone being disappointed in it. But that's enough about Carmelo. Let's focus on Ilja Dragunov. We're going to start with the Yin Yang deck. Give these cards a good shuffle. See what we can learn about Ilja's future, where he's going, what his prospects are. Of course, he has been the NXT UK champion, which he won from Gunther. He held that title for quite a while. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he may have even held it until they retired that title. So, does he have a shot at holding a major belt again? I know a lot of people would like to see him called up to the main roster, maybe even to resume his feud with Gunther. I've seen some predictions of bring him in to join Imperium. I've also seen word from Dragunov that he would not care to join Imperium, but you never know what plans the Fed is going to have for people. I think Dragunov fighting Gunther looks fantastic. I think Dragunov could fight Cody Rhodes and would look great. I'm sure he could fight Seth Rollins and look great, because Seth makes people look great, and Seth has a style that's really, similar to Carmelo in a lot of ways. He's a great showman. He's very athletic. Seth's a lot taller than Carmelo, but again, he's not a big, Brock Lesnar brawling. Oof, all right, that's probably more cards than we want. So let's shuffle one more time through here and see what these cards have to tell us. Again, we are talking about Ilja Dragunov and what his prospects are in the WWE. Is he going to hold major championships again? Look at this. We got the Sun card right away, right? So that's that Leo energy. We were just talking about Carmelo Hayes is a Leo. Triple H is a Leo. Shawn Michaels, who of course runs NXT, right on the cusp. We're looking at the Sun and strength, empowerment, compassion and happiness, the truth revealed, the heart chakra opening. Again, I think Ilja is surrounded by quite a bit of Sun energy. An unexpected storm, the Tower, destruction, conflict, unforeseen change and sudden news, right? That match last night was like a tower being pulled to the ground. This was such violence, such aggression, right? Like some of those chops, we were sitting near the stage, near the ring, and it sounded like a lightning bolt hitting. But could that also mean the Tower being destruction and conflict related to his career? What's going to be next for him? Belief systems, mask, facade, conditioning, expectations, evaluating long-held beliefs, and awakening. I wonder, right, if this awakening, you see him removing this mask, which, by the way, Libras, being a Libra myself, I know people say we wear a mask. Libras can be duplicitous, play both sides, really focus on telling people what they want. So does this represent Ilja kind of reevaluating where he's been and showing his true self? Twin flames, telepathic, spiritual, magnetic, divine connection, strong soulmate. I don't want to go too obvious here, but Ilja and Gunther, because of their history of work together, I think would make one think, boy, those are twin flames, right? They're just meant to be in the ring together. Could you make a case after seeing Ilja and Carmelo last night? I don't know. If you saw the match and you see how it ended, I think there's a very good chance that they're going to run that back. External party situations, karmic partner, right? Karmic partner, twin flames again, friends and family, obligations, the work. The fact that we're talking about family and obligations, that's so typical for a life path 6, right? They are the nurturer. And the fact that he's a Libra, those relationships are also very important. Libras can also be difficult to get along with. How great a time does Ilja have in the workplace? Most of these NXT people, right, they're younger people, mostly American. Ilja is a Russian-born German. I don't know how he interacts with the other folks there in the PC. South Node, comfort zone, resistance, fear of the new, clinging to old ways or situations, right? We've got evaluating long-held beliefs and clinging to old ways or situations. I started this talk off by saying that what I personally love about Dragunov is he's such a throwback in the way he fights. Is that what they want? Does he maybe not fit what WWE and NXT are looking for? I think Gunther's success shows that that's exactly what they should be looking for. Not for everybody. Not everyone wants to see that kind of match, and certainly not all the time. But you need a few guys that work that way for variety, if nothing else. Guarded, vulnerable, holding patterns, security, blocked heart chakra. Didn't we just have opening heart chakra? Here we had heart chakra opening. Here we've got heart chakra blocked. But again, that security at all costs, guarded and vulnerable, right? If you're guarded and vulnerable, you might be wearing a mask or a facade. And that security, again, that's a life path 6, right? You want to protect the house. Guilt, sabotage, anxiety, shadow work, fear, regret. Boy, you see this anxiety, fear, and regret. It's very emotional, right? It's a very emotional card. You see it in here, feeling loss. Okay, he took a tough loss last night. Shadow work is also a part of this card. Does he need to do some growth, right? Evaluating those long-held beliefs. A lot of this is tying together. What kind of self-work does he need to do? I don't know, maybe it's a little too direct, but that sabotage, I mean, he did, kind of run himself head first into the title belt, which, kayfabe knocked him a little silly and led to his taking that pin. The future, the spring, planting seeds, preparation, putting in the work. Look, this man's been putting in all kinds of work. Are we seeing the springtime as maybe being, when his come up might be? I mean, springtime, that's WrestleMania season. Right after WrestleMania is when they tend to do the WWE draft. Could we see him as part of the call-up next year? I thought it was going to be this year. Not going to lie, I really did. But maybe next year around WrestleMania time. We've got apology, forgiveness. Why does this guy look like Austin Theory? Guilt, again, wants to speak their heart. Compassion, confession, emotional. It's a lot of Libra energy in that card, right? We've been seeing, what's he hiding? Maybe when we get to the T deck coming up, we might see something, but there's a lot here saying that he's masking something, whether it's his feelings or some sort of behaviors, but there might be something in here that's holding him back. Nurture, there's that life path 6, the nurturer, compassion, love, okay, very, very Libra energy, sincere feelings, wants to take care of you, protective. I don't know what's going on with him personally. I don't know if he has a significant other. right? Whoever that might be that he is looking out for, or if this is someone, again, who is looking out for Ilya. Abundance and windfall. There we go. Finally, some good news. Gifts, celebration, promotion, opportunity, and successful ventures. Okay, so there's good things coming. There's abundance coming. When is that going to be? Maybe in the springtime. Remember, light work. We've seen the shadow work. Now we're seeing the light work. Transcendence, getting past conflict, inner shifts, spiritual awakening. So again, if he does some spiritual work, right, maybe make some changes about those long-held beliefs. Who's he got a conflict with? I don't hear anyone talk about Ilja Dragunov and his relationship with the rest of the locker room. But again, he doesn't fit the mold. Just by virtue of, he was an NXT UK guy, which they have others of, but because he's a Russian-born German and he works so differently from most of this roster, I don't know, like, we saw the sabotage card, right? Is there someone who's working against him? Ooh, karma, debts, rewards, contracts. Saturn, which is some Capricorn energy. I might need to have to take a look here and see who the Capricorns might be in Ilya's orbit. Restrictions, adversity, learning karmic lessons, right? So we've had the twin flame, we had a karmic bond, where was that one? And karmic lessons. So yeah, he's still got some lessons to learn. He's still got some time to put in here at the PC. Like I said, that abundance is coming, but he's got some obstacles and work to do to get past it. And the ego, vanity, pride, the status quo. This is such Libra stuff, that vanity and pride. Look how often we are seeing this. We have the status quo, the long-held beliefs, the inner shifts, fear of the new, right? He's holding on to something. He is very much holding on to something, right, from his past, related to these expectations, right? Because we have had expectations and conditioning over here as well. Yeah, he's got some baggage. There's not a lot of personal info out here about this young man. But again, the fact that he's a Libra and a life path 6 means that he's very emotionally tied to something in his house. And I don't necessarily mean his literal house, but something, in that close orbit. Let's see what look for a little bit of tea. See what this comes up with us for, because this is very interesting, and I wish that I had a little bit better picture of what's going on behind the scenes here with Mr. Dragunov. Let us know in the comments what you think. Please do like, share, subscribe. We do read the comments. We've had a lot of suggestions recently about other topics to pursue. A lot of them a little bit on the dark side. So we don't want to rush into those all at once, because whether it's me or Calypso, that is kind of there's a high energy cost to those topics. Let me tell you, in terms of flowing into that energy and taking that on to read it. So we do like to keep a mix of, current topics, things that we're watching and enjoying right now, as well as looking into the past. And speaking of looking into the past, we do, we will be tackling many of the dark side of the ring topics. I mean, we've done Tammy Sitch already. Just last week, we posted a new video that Calypso did on Abdullah the Butcher. and we will absolutely be doing more of the Dark Side of the Ring topics as we go. Remember also, all of these talks are allegedly for entertainment purposes, right? We are using the Oracle cards to try to get a little insight, but we're not looking to get sued by anybody. We're not making any claims about what's really going on there in these people's personal lives. We got playfulness, new love, and flirting, right? I asked the question just a minute ago, what's going on? Who is he looking to protect at home, right? Does Dragunov have a significant person? We've got the helping hand, favors, and support. He's got to have the support of at least Shawn Michaels to get these opportunities. He has put on at least 3 notably great matches in the past couple months, right? The last man standing match with Dijak, the #1 contender match that he had with Braun Breaker, and then this match last night. But he's absolutely going to need someone to reach that hand out, right? Maybe at some point Gunther, puts the word in with Paul Levesque, Triple H, says, hey, it's time to bring this guy up. People want to see us fight. Knowledge, learning, and study. I'm going to kind of put that in with some of the cards that we were just seeing about the inner work that Ilja may need to be doing. Bright ideas, creativity, onto something. Again, he is a Libra. Libras are known for creativity. Wrap that in with the knowledge and learning. I think we may be seeing some developments coming that's going to help him with that growth. News, notice, and information. Look at this. So we've got study, news and information, and bright ideas, right? I think they might be workshopping him, right? Whether it's workshopping his character, his in-ring style, getting him ready, and fun and games, not serious playing games. What a change this would be, right? If they kind of look at the numbers, look at the trends, say, okay, look, if Carmelo Hayes is so over, what makes him so different from a guy like Ilja Dragunov, right? The ring style, very different. Melo's, his promos, his overall aesthetic, much more modern, much more fun. I don't think that they would be wise to try to make Dragunov like a Carmelo Hayes necessarily. But I think the point is, he might need to modernize a little bit. I mean, even Gunther and Imperium feel a little less serious now. They're still very serious, but just being around, guys like Riddle, Sammy, and KO, that Imperium has had to add a little bit of lightheartedness just to keep the entertainment level up. We're going to close this up. This is the last deck I'm going to use as we talk about Ilja Dragunov. If you've seen others of our readings, which if you haven't, please do check them out. I think we're up to 92, 93 videos now. Between the shorts and the full length, we've covered so many topics and we have a lot more to do. I really think there's something there for everybody. But if you've seen our other videos, I like to use this deck a lot when I'm thinking about people's success, future success. I'll pull this one out. I was trying to fall. I usually call it the gold deck or the money deck. And most of these cards are related to success, abundance, opportunities. So Let's pass through here another 1 or 2 times and see what we think is going to happen as we wrap up this talk about Ilja Dragunov, who, again, fell a little short of getting the job done at the Great American Bash. Frozen. There may be a hiring freeze or no new work now. Being aloof can leave you out in the cold. A warm follow-up gets you in the door. I think that's interesting, right? He needs to warm up some because, again, he has such a stern, serious character that if he wants to get opportunities around Carmelo, he's gonna need to become a little bit more, I don't want to say entertaining, right? Because I don't even want to say warm, because a guy like Brock Lesnar, who's been a heel and he's just so aggressive, usually doesn't play in that, warm and friendly role. And yet when he did it a year ago, when he played the babyface against Roman, people generally liked it. Good luck. Your fortune is improving, right? We pulled that abundance card. And you'll get a lucky break soon. Collect nuggets of wisdom. You will need them in the near future. So again, collect nuggets of wisdom, talking more about that learning. He's got something to learn. Timing. It's all in the timing right now. Pull another card to see if you need to do it now, wait a while, or make a different decision. I'm going to do that right now. Pull one off the top of the deck. Give and take. Be open to giving and receiving, and to keep the flow of abundance going. Give someone a chance and ask for what your heart desires. So maybe he needs to reach out and take this helping hand, right? Whether that's Sean or someone else in the locker room, he needs to kind of seize that opportunity, because the opportunities are there. Gifts. You're uncovering new talents that will land you new work in a better position. Again, new talents, learning, bright ideas, getting creative. You could get more money with the deal as well. And finally, offerings. You'll be offered a new position or investment opportunity. Think about it and research it carefully. Again, there's that knowledge before accepting. So, what have we seen here? We've seen that he may have had some difficulties with connecting with other people, whether that's in the locker room, in the office, that there's someone available to help him, but he has to do some self-work, right? Both in terms of his light work, spirituality, opening up that heart chakra, right? Because he's had some blockages. He needs to give someone a chance. So maybe there's a relationship that's available to him, but he's been stayed blocked off from it, right? He might be putting up walls. We saw wearing those masks and facade. All right, that one's a little out of the way. That mask and facade, he might need to take that mask off, open up his heart, and do some learning. Like the fact that this deck, which usually is T, right? It'll tell you, oh, someone's goofing off, they're doing X, Y, and Z. We pulled 6 cards and 3 of them were about hit the books. So I think, this is me, right? Hot take. I think there might be some changes coming with Dragunov over the next, let's say 8 months between now and WrestleMania season and the next WWE draft, where he's going to make some changes, right? Probably relative to his character. I doubt his fighting style is going to change that much, because it's really one of his strong suits. But we're going to see some changes over the course of the next year. I don't know if we're going to see him hold the belt, or maybe not for very long. Like I said, I would love to see him run it back with Carmelo, because this match was so good. But they're going to have him doing some learning, whether that's his character, his promos, something to help him to reach that next level. by a year, 8 months from now, I think we're going to see some big things, some new opportunities, pay raise, maybe that call up to the next level, and he'll start dealing with that big Leo over there in charge of creative at WWE. Let us know what you think. Again, we've been Wrestling Tea Tarot. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and please leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts on Dragunov, your thoughts on Carmelo, your thoughts on NXT in general. I'd really like to start talking more about NXT because I think people love NXT and that's kind of underserved right now. So maybe we'll talk more about NXT. But please do let us know. Thanks so much for watching. Again, we're Wrestling Tea Tarot, and we will see you next time. Bye.